No, I'll be honest for you. This is not rent. This is like I hit this. No, no, no. This is sort of a fan being a realist because the Mutant Turtles always been very odd but strange and sort of misunderstood several times. Even people who are not fans or are fans sort of kind of misinterpreted of the Turtles because how very unique this franchise really is. I think this is the reason why Paramount doesn't know what to do with the Turtles or how to really execute it. Even that this new movie, Mutant Mayhem, is legitimately a good animated film, but they show the cards too soon, remove some of the formulas to actually help it keep it strong in multiple films, but still not quite understanding it, or maybe because they want to go a different direction. Never wrong, but the 4 or 5 things actually help it make it unique, stays unique, never be confused or related to the other different franchise of superheroes. One of the biggest ones, believe it or not, they're not heroes. The fact the turtles have never been anti-heroes or heroes or villains. There are specific kind of rare genre of, you could say, cowboy heroes. That sounds weird, but let me explain more deeper. That the cowboy hero never looks for it. It's more like the moral good thing to do type of situation because they never look for it because trouble finds them. They do not find trouble. And that's basically one of the core formulas. That's why they're sort of not really heroes because they actually are just doing their own thing and someone just, oh, they're mutants, I must capture them. Oh, they went here, I have photos of them. They always have someone else start the story. They don't start it. They just walk it, and something horrible happens because how they actually look, how the society doesn't like them, or how the society thinks how may I use them for my benefit. And that's usually a good chunk of all Turtles' story. But there's an add-on because every time they actually defend themselves, the villain of whoever they're facing come back for vengeance and gets bigger every single time, getting more threatening, but a way sort of, oh, we defeat the villain, everything's done, everything's clear. But no, it gets bigger. The danger of the city, and the question is, should the turtles interfere anymore? Because there is not that problem. This is where you always have two of the main turtles always sort of arguing of the moral dilemma of, oh, this is our responsibility, but not really. We got nothing to do with it, but we are the one who initialized this sort of incident, so it's ours. And that's sort of the kind of the dilemma the turtles always have. That's when they make it so unique. Now, the second thing is so interesting about the turtles is the fact they actually know martial arts that the movie sort of kind of cuts away of, oh, the master was supposed to be human, supposed to be right, who learned from the teacher. And that's one of the basically basic because it connects to the shredder, connects to all the basically martial arts skills they learned. Over the years, they sort of changed that for them, like the original Mirage comics. The first reason they decided to become martial artists or ninjas is because of vengeance. And later on, they decided to remove that because they thought, well, this is sort of stupid because it sort of cut off sort of most of the story they had to talk about. So they reverse it as self-defense because you feel more flexible to actually develop it, but still connect to the Shredder or the Foot Clan. And that's what makes the Shredder sort of linked up with the boys. Because that's sort of interesting sort of dilemma. It's not our problem, but it kind of is because of our father. And that sort of connection makes Shredder more dangerous, more sort of relatable. Depends on people who writes this, but it makes it more sense how skilled. Because at the very end, they didn't train because they want to be heroes. They didn't train because of vengeance. They train because of self-defense. They're not accepted in society, and that's why they always be sort of sharp. In the movie, they sort of did the same thing, but removed the connection of the Shredder or the Full Clan So yeah, I feel they sort of have to rely on, oh, they want to be heroes. And this is a reason that sort of kind of trying to be disconnected to what makes the turtles turtles. Not a bad choice because they really, the first act, they really trying to explain this and explore this the best way possible. I feel they sort of understood it a certain limit, but make a base risk of what happened to the very end of the movie. That sort of, oh, now we are accepted of the human race. We all cool, but that's lead another problem because basically a chunk of the storyline or little storylines, they have to be basically hiding in the shadows because once again they're not accepted. So every time they have to do something, they'd have to be sort of kind of creative how to get out of it, or ask one of their friends, human friends, or a alien, or this sort of weird convoluted idea to go point A to point B, making very interesting sort of creative ideas. You know, like Superman or Batman, they can rely on being Clark Kent or Bruce Wayne because they're rich, because they're a reporter. That's why they make it so distinctly turtles. But because of this, because they had accepted by human society, they became sort of Spider-Man. He started acting sort of like Spider-Man sort of storylines, and that's a thing I'm sort of afraid of because I did like the film, but then now going to high school, that could actually sort of ruin the tension or add up, or if that start be like Spider-Man, but nothing like the Turtles. And that's a sort of kind of a very dilemma kind of deal because you don't know you can actually make it work. Especially this sort of kind of storytelling was sort of exploring the IDW comic for a different way. It's more about the race of the mutants and the humans. They have the sort of borderline. It's a really weird. Some divisive fans don't like that, but at the same time, they did explore decent enough. In fact, I feel the DW one they actually have more better grasp of it than this because this one sort of don't know you actually can actually basically execute it. Now the other thing or the fourth thing I felt this movie sort of misunderstands is the fact how they have their relationship of the human race. How because they dislike of the human race of the turtles, their relationship of other people is more family like found family in other words. Because every time one of the turtles make a friend, that friendship is very strong. They actually understand each other because they become friends. They become family because they every time they have a holiday or special, every single person they make friends and become good allies or family. They always there. You understand the kinship. Why the turtles value them so much because there's the one who accepted them, and still have that moment like they trying to cross the street in the middle of the night and a woman or a guy or a child freak out, kind of makes the point so much stronger. How they value their friends and family is that sort of understandable. You just get it. That's what make it so unique. Now, the other thing, the fifth thing, is the fact every single villain is sort of, except for the Shredder, every other villain has their own reason to do with the turtles. That's what make the turtle friendship so unique that 99% of it is about one purchase, one the other one for getting something out of them, or something else that sort of troubles them and they have to prove themselves. They join a gang of the Foot Clan and they trying to beat up the turtles convince them to change. Even that the turtles have nothing to do with this person, they really have an extra hand because they see it, they understand it because they're outsiders like the rest of the people. In other words, that's what it make it so refreshing because you can compare this to Batman, you compare this to Superman. Even the closest one is Spider-Man because I repeat Spider-Man a few times in this video. That Spider-Man is more leaning to that. In this thing, I'm afraid of they're trying to make it like Spider-Man because they feel that's the formula. And no, that's not the formula. It's because how alone they are, how close they are to their friends, and the scenarios they put themselves in make it unique. This is sort of the fine things make him really special because many times they try and do something turtles, they rely on those five things, but at least the most part. There are more stuff like because how weird out there that you could go any style, any type of storytelling that be accepted in this sort of franchise. They go to the past, they go to the future. They use timeline stories, but they work because how weird and strange but just fit not words. I mean, they have other storytelling, like they have to go to outer space and meet the Ultrons to see, oh, they evil or good, or they being used, or this sort of galactic battle. You do not question the galactic battle. You do not question of the time traveling aspects. You do not question the reason why you have vampires of this world because it's the turtles. It's just that sort of kind of creative idea that you go any single direction while being questioned. And Mutant Mayhem, the movie, this new movie Paramount made, sort of understand this in the fact they never go that far because they still, oh, they're street heroes. Like, no, they kind of are, kind of not. They're not space heroes. They're not supernatural heroes. They're basically almost cowboy heroes, but they have that one thing make it so unique of all of them is the fact that this is morally right, or better yet, what is my responsibility of the situation of this moment? Because you have moments in the TV series, the comics, even the movies, in the original three movies, especially the third one, that ask themselves if people accept them, should we stay? This is morally right, but at the same time, because of the situation they also second question themselves. Yeah, no, I don't think so. We're not allowed to be here. We make them endanger themselves being here, and that's what make them so different. You could compare them like Spider-Man or Batman or Superman, but you can't. They're a completely different ball game because they have to rely on their own type of formula. They have to hide because oh they can't know who they are. They're ruining their lives. The turtles don't have like normal human lives. If they get spotted, they get killed, and that's what makes the turtles so refreshing and unique even to this day. That's sort of five or six things I said. There are actually really more things I can talk about because I don't want this video to be longer. This is the reason I felt what Paramount sort of misunderstood it because they keep thinking sort of street hero or Spider-Man hero or Daredevil hero. In fact, it more leans to Daredevil hero because it was inspired by Daredevil, but you get it because Daredevil only goes so far because he's a street hero. The Turtles, they didn't go anywhere. There is no question because how really weird they are. But the only problem is the really weird is the only thing they keep people obsessed with. They're mutant, they're turtles, they're ninjas. How weird is that? Instead, asking the questions are, what is the formula make it so unique and strange? And you realize, oh, because they're outsiders. They're not accepted. They have to defend themselves. But every time they defend themselves, they create more enemies. More enemies, they find more dangerous ways to kill them or use the government, magic, gangbangers, or drugs. Depends on your imagination or international mutants or different universes. You can actually use it without questioning because they're the turtles. That's why I make this franchise so unique. Of course, I did like the movie Mutant Mayhem, but they removed so many things to basically remove all the possibilities they can do and make it more interesting and cut it in half. And that half scares me because I'm not sure they actually could pull it off, especially the sequel, because the sequel they want to talk about the Shredder, but I don't think you can make the Shredder because they're officially making the villain, and that's the problem. Because it feels maybe the sequel want to be like the Batman trilogy of Nolan, especially the sequel one. I'm afraid, no, the Shredder doesn't do that. I mean, sort of does, but usually it's not the main focus. It's that's another thing I'm afraid of because they're trying to be too close to Batman, too close to Spider-Man, too close to Superman. Like they're the turtles, they're different. That's why you need. That's why they sort of stand out. Hopefully, they never go those directions. I'm a little scared, but I'm trying to be positive, trying to be realistic. Could work. I don't know. You like the film? You did like all my kind of 5 or 6 things I said. What they make it so unique and different of this? If you have any new ones that I sort of forgot, tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. Just thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.